what is college like? And maybe we can explain a little bit more here about choosing colleges as well.
College, I would say, I will say this, like one thing that I really do think stands out about Oxbridge is its college system or its collegiate system. So it definitely gives you a unique experience of university as a whole, because you have you obviously have like your wider university experience, which is kind of tied in with your subject, but then your college, it's very specific to your Oxford journey. So college, it usually it differs from college to college depending on size, location, etc. But it's a mix of many different people, and I often find that you will be able to also find different bonds and like different relationships here at college that you might find in like your subjects or like wider faculty. I already mentioned that my one was kind of it wasn't really specific. I just liked Pembroke's garden, and also like my unique summer school. I did it at Pembroke. Well, I did some classes at Pembroke, and Stephen Tuck, who was like the course convener, he was at Pembroke as well. And I liked a lot of his work, and I knew that he would be teaching a lot of the courses that I would be interested in. So I decided that it would be better for me to kind of go to Pembroke, because then I would be close to like the teachers and to the teachers and the kind of the professors that will be teaching me my preferred modules. So yeah, that's why I kind of chose Pembroke.
So yeah, for me, college is for me it's literally a home away from home. Like, college is such a nice place to be in, especially in first year. I feel like there's especially in Pembroke, I feel like there's like a good sense of community, and I can rely on a lot of people in college here. And yeah, I feel like the college system in Oxford is helpful in the sense that you get to know more people from different subjects rather than the same subject again and again, and meeting the same people again and again, which is really nice. And you get to make connections and links with different types of people rather than one type. So I think that's the main benefit of having a collegiate system.
What college is like? Yeah, I think, as I said, it's already been kind of mentioned, but yeah, I liken it to a sixth form college quite a bit. But more so the kind of like walking in between the quads and being like, oh, hi, people, like recognizing people here and there. It's not like it is quite close knit in that respect. And yeah, I quite like that, interact with kind of everyone. But yeah, in terms of kind of how I decided at college, I had a kind of rudimentary list. I had a kind of list of things that I'd quite like to have in a college, but also my top kind of 3 or 5 colleges, and then started to do a little bit of research about them. Ask some people who may know a bit about it. Funnily enough, my like number one choice was Worcester, and I asked someone about it, and they were like, "Do not apply there. You don't have a chance." And I was like, "Great, thanks." So I naively listened to them, but upon reflection, like, everyone kind of roots for their own college, and everyone also kind of arbitrarily says, "Oh no, there's no point applying there because you won't get in. Oh, there's no point." And that's when you kind of have to realize, like, if you just love your subject, a tutor will probably like you. If you can just connect to a tutor, then that's great. But also, having said that, a lot of people will say, "Oh, your choice of college doesn't matter," but I think it can, and I don't think it's kind of spoken about enough, especially for for like first gen students or kind of lower income students, because I mean the cost of living can vary greatly between different colleges. Kind of the state school to private school ratio, how much money, how much like support you can get. These are all things that can factor in to like your college choices, and I don't know. I think that's something also to worth to kind of bear in mind. But the biggest thing for me was also, I didn't realize it, but so I applied for English because I really liked Old English, and my Old English tutor, his favorite poem was my favorite poem. His favorite book is my favorite book, and so we spoke really extensively about that. And so, like, in my interview, it went really well because of it. So I think also looking at the actual tutors at your college and what they specialize in is also great, because also one of my tutors is like one of the world experts on dictionaries, and that's also something, lexicography is something I find really interesting. So I mean, yeah, that's also worth bearing in mind. That's
really good advice. I touched on this in my introduction, but I did not get into the college that I applied to, so I might just discuss here about the pooling system. So whilst it is really important that you think about your college and what college you might want to go to, and kind of where you feel at home, where you think the tutors might be that you might want to study with, the gardens you liked, whatever sort of thing you liked, if you what you saw on the open day. For a percentage of students go into something called the pooling system, and this is because some colleges get more applications than others, and it's to make sure everyone gets a chance at an interview. So I applied to Brasenose, which in my year group was I think the most applied to college for history, and that's because David Cameron went there. And colleges find that if they have prime ministers, they often end up with lots of applications. So Brasenose were not able to interview me, so I was pulled to Regent's Park. And although originally I was really disappointed when I had my offer interview at Regent's Park, as soon as I got there, I realised that it was a really great place to be, and it was great for me. It was a really small college. It's much smaller than Pembroke. It only takes around 36 students a year, and it only does humanities, and that really worked well for me. And I think Nic, you said something really important about how everyone ends up rooting for their college and really enjoying it. And I think wherever you end up will be great, and if there's something missing for you, you can find it elsewhere in the university. So I think those were all really great tips about choosing college, and also what Pembroke is like as well.